Last week, we looked at Project Oxygen from Google and discovered why you matter as a manager for people's happiness and your team's performance. We covered the first 4 behaviors that Google identified as key to being an effective manager. This week, we're going to look at the final 4 behaviors. You'll get the theory about why those behaviors are important and also practical exercises that you can do yourself to become this 5-star Google manager. Let's get learning. Hey, my name is Greg. I'm a master coach and I help people, teams and organizations to know themselves, to design their future self and become their future selves. I'm here to help you live a life where you have control. You might think, communication? Easy. I talk to people all day. But my friends, talking is to communication what a garden hose is to a fire hydrant. It's similar, but one is way more impactful. Effective communication is a linchpin that keeps the gears of a team together. If you're not clear about your messaging, or worse, if you're inconsistent with it, then you're basically trying to have your project look like a Picasso painting, but not in a good way. Google's Project Oxygen found, and that's no surprise, that the best managers are also excellent communicators. They can easily share complex ideas and foster open dialogue. Let's get into specifics. Effective communications rests on 3 pillars. Clarity. Keep it simple, straightforward, and to the point. The best managers don't talk in riddles. The second pillar is consistency. Your team should hear a consistent message from you, whether it's about the project goals or it's about performance feedback. People like regularity, so give them some regular feedback, some regular catch-up with your team, and at the same time, don't hesitate to break the routine if you have something particularly important to communicate. The third pillar is open dialogue. It's a two-way street, folks. Be open to feedback and make yourself approachable. Schedule moments for one-to-ones with your people or office hours when people can just barge in your office. And don't forget to reserve some me time too, that's important. One key aspect of communication is to be aware of the assumptions that you make. You might assume that people understand what you mean, but just always make sure that they truly understand what you mean. Make them repeat what you've said or summarize some of the things that you've said. People might say yes, and they mean, no, I don't understand anything. 3 out of 8 behaviors recommended by Project Oxygen rely on effective listening. Though it is well worth investing in becoming better at this. If you want to know the perfect way of learning about this, then check this out. For your homework today, yes, there is some homework. I'd like you to pick a forthcoming team meeting that you will have and focus entirely on your communication skills. Afterwards, ask for feedback from a trusted team member about how you've been doing, what you could be improving. To borrow the words from George Bernard Shaw, the single biggest problem in communication is the illusion that it has taken place, though make sure it does. You remember those career days events in school when everybody wanted to become an astronaut or a pilot or a superhero? Well, it turns out that managing a team is a bit like being a career counselor to your people. But there's going to be a lot less aptitude test and a lot more spreadsheets. In the workplace, nothing says I care like taking a very active interest in your people's career development. Google found that the most effective managers help their team members stretch their limits and also grow professionally. And let's be real, a growing team is a happy team and a happy team is a performing team. Simply because growing is a basic human need. We have a psychological need for competence, for growing this competence and being recognized for having this competence. This is the only way we can be satisfied and be happy bunnies. So what makes for an effective career development guru? Here are some key points. Number 1, personalization. Everyone's career path is as unique as their Netflix recommendations. Tailor your advice and support to individual needs. Point number 2 is mentoring and coaching. Being a coach mentor to someone is like being a tour guide to someone's career development. Show them the sights, but let them explore by themselves. Number 3 is skill development. Once you know the career direction that people want to take, then help them hone the skills which correspond to the career steps that they want to take. Also give them some opportunities to hone their new skills, give them some practical experience that they can rely on to develop. Okay, now roll up your sleeves, let's get practical. Here is how you can actively help for career development. Do some regular check-ins. Don't wait for annual performance reviews to discuss career goals. Make it a regular topic of one-on-one meetings, for example. Resource sharing. Share articles, books, courses that will help your team grow. Now, YouTube compilations of epic fails don't count. Facilitate networking. Introduce your team members to other professionals in the field who can give them different perspective on what they're doing. Also, make sure that you introduce them to people at higher level. Help them build their network inside the company and outside. Your homework for this section, don't worry, it's not graded, is to establish a career day to talk about the career development of your people. You can decide to do that one-on-one, or you can decide to do that with all the team together. Sometimes it's actually good that people want to share where they want to go. They might not be aware about what they want to do, and they might get inspired by all the people in the team. And make sure you create a nice atmosphere for the event. Don't forget the snacks. As you journey down your own career path, don't forget to light the way for others. After all, a rising tide lifts all boats. Or in this case, elevates all careers. You like this video so far? Then you know what to do. Also subscribe, put the notifications on if you want to receive content like this every week. And if you want to learn more about how to become a great manager and those behaviors from Project Oxygen, then check out the resources in the video description. A vision. Now, we're not talking about 2020 hindsight here. We're talking about that North Star that guides you and your team towards a better future. A vision is what differentiates a leader from a manager. It links to a core psychological need of relatedness that all human beings have. We want to be part of something bigger than us. Okay, let's get philosophical for a minute. A vision is the difference between filling sandbags and building a castle. You can do the same work, but knowing what each sandbag contributes to will make a big difference in terms of your motivation. Google recognizes that a great manager does not only have a vision, they can also articulate it clearly to their team. Back to the communication aspect we talked about before. Having a vision is like having a GPS for your team, and it's comprised of the following. Clarity. Your vision should be simple, direct, and easily understood. Think of it as an elevator pitch for where your team is headed. Alignment. It's vital that your vision aligns with where the company is going in terms of goal and its vision itself. A disjointed vision is like a compass that is trying to go in two different directions at once. Inspiration. A good vision ignites enthusiasm. It should inspire your team and give something to rally around. So how do you go about crafting and communicating a vision? Here are some action items. First one is to involve the team. Get input from all your team members to ensure their buy-in. They should feel like co-authors, not just spectators. Be specific. A vision is not a wish list. Be as specific as possible about what success looks like. Repeat, repeat, repeat. A vision should be revisited and talked about regularly. It's a North Star, not a shooting star. For your hands-on assignment, create a vision board for your next project. Use images, phrases, or whatever tickles your fancy to visualize what the vision is for your project. It should be what you aim to achieve. Then share it with your team and invite them to contribute to it in your next team meeting. You know what's even better? It's when you anchor this vision together with the life purpose that people have in your team. If you're not sure about how to unearth your life purpose to connect it to your team vision, then check this video out. Next up on our managerial hit parade is using your technical skills to advise. You see, being a manager is not just about giving some motivational speeches or writing some motivational emails with written sent by my iPhone at the bottom. It's also about rolling up your sleeves and getting to the nitty-gritty together with your team. Here's the deal. Your team respects competence. So your team will be looking for you to give them some good technical guidance. You can't just say, make it so, like Captain Picard. You have to know what it is and how so can be. So let's make a good technical advice. The first part is expertise. Know your stuff. You don't need to be the Einstein of coding or the Beethoven of spreadsheets, but you should know the main elements of the system that you're dealing with. Next is context, understanding the big picture. The advice shouldn't be only technical, it should also be aligned to your team's goals, the company goals, and its mission. The third part is teaching. The best managers are also great teachers. Your technical skills are of no use to your team if you don't know how to properly transmit this knowledge to them. So take a course on how to teach people. This is a skill you can learn. Enough theory, let's get to the action items. The first one is continuous learning. The tech world changes faster than a chameleon on a rainbow. And actually most industries nowadays. Keep up to date with the latest in your field. Then consult, don't dictate. Offer your technical skills as a resource, not a mandate. There's a fine line between advising and micromanaging. Finally, be available. Make sure your team knows they can come to you and ask any of the questions that they have. We've talked about it before. Have an open door policy for certain hours of the day, for instance. Your virtual or physical door should be open. They should know when it is open. Here's a little something you can try out. The next time your team faces a technical challenge, instead of giving them the solution, make sure that you try to guide them through problem solving by themselves. Let them arrive at the solution themselves with your subtle guidance, Yoda-like coaching. It's a win-win situation. You impart wisdom and they gain skills. As Henry Ford once said, anyone who stops learning is old, whether at 20 or 80. So keep those technical skills sharp, not just for your sake, but also the sake of your team. That's a wrap, future titans of industry. We've just ventured through the other half of Project Oxygen 8 key behaviors, so you can be worth your weight in stock options. I will leave you with a quote from Peter Drucker, probably the most famous management teacher and thinker of the 20th century. The best way to predict your future is to create it. Another way that you can look at improving your manager skills is to look at what are the leadership styles that you use and to discover how you can improve those different leadership styles. If you're interested in that, then check out this video.